Three things weighing heavily on me. Three things. Tremendous weight. Three things. It's busing, it's trees, and it's food. It's busing, it's trees, and it's food. Those three things make me feel so heavy. Of course, I'm lightweight, but those three things make me feel so heavy. But I already know discipline. So today I'm gonna use the camera as my ally for accountability. As I'm getting too comfortable, so I'm gonna use that to push myself to do what I already know I'm supposed to be doing. So today, before I grab my pen and pad, I'm gonna do my front and back. Boom. My reps and sets. That's it. So I ain't even gonna talk. I'm just gonna get it in. I'll do this because I can go down the stack. I have a stack of books. I need to read them. But a lot of the times I have books that's gifted to me. I can get to that later. But these three was on the top and I'll grab them just because, right? And this is why. This one, the title, just alone the title, all right? Just alone the title. This one because last night, I woke up out my sleep. I scrolling, use the bathroom, scrolling, and I come across this guy with a long white beard. I'm like, man, that takes a long time to grow out that hair, blah, 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 blah. And he's talking, and I'm like, that sounds familiar. And then I thought about it. Yo, I got gifted a book 7 years ago, maybe. Did I read it? No. Because at the time, what I do usually when I get a book, I did like this, boom. And the page that I landed on, what I read, fit that criteria of where I was in my life. So I was like, I'll get to it later. That's enough, right? So be it. Well, Sadhguru was the guy who was speaking. And this book is written by him, Inner Engineering. So the fact that this book has been to Australia, Costa Rica, and back, and I still haven't read it. Now's the time, excuse me. Just had breakfast. Now's the time. So, I know what I need to do. That's on me. I'm just sharing it with you. That's on me. And if I do, if I let go, and I do the inner engineering, the mechanisms of the inner work, right? Mechanisms, then the outcome. Look at them. Look at Plankton, come on. So, what am I doing right now? But digging in later to read that, but to develop. That's what it is, so. Anyway, because talk is cheap, right? Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap, man. Talk is cheap. By the way, I found this. Some time ago, I was on the way to Lowe's to get the PVC valve pipes to make one, and I found it. Same color, everything, as is, just like this. I cleaned it off, I kept it, boom. So, excuse me, when they say seeking ye shall find, it's true. It's true. It's true. And so if seeking ye shall find, then Aim and follow through. That's it. You're gonna hit your target. Shall I proceed? Let's see. I like this spot. So for now, I'm at this spot. Know what I mean? Nah, I mean. Oh, damn, no, that's too low, right? Of course. Well, that's. Let me see. Is that how you scale it to size? Okay. Like you said in Collateral, man, sometimes you gotta fucking run with it, you know? You just gotta run with it. Hey. You know what it is. Yeah. Boom! What the is even that? 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 Yeah. Right? Yeah. What the is even that? definitely in a chill mood today, though. So let me not act. My bad. I ain't trying to be silent. Sometimes this is 18 by 24. So I've been using the pasta 3mm for the past 3 days. So today I wanted to switch it up and go a little thicker with the solid black tip. So also I'm aware that if I want to fill the canvas, this takes longer and it comes out different because the way they feel. And what I was trying to say days ago is drawings for me sometimes can be a bit more intimate because it's right, it's like, I mean, it's right there. So I wanted a different feel today. Boom. I didn't want to just start with black, so I grabbed the paintbrush, I dip it in the water, just the tip, and I used that faint line to give me a foundation. And then I run with it. So yep. And boom, you know. It's so funny when you do the eyes because if you can make a perfect circle, cool, that's fire. But it's always got a little offage to it. It's always a little off, and that changes the expression. course, I have a picture here. So now I make it clear. Sometimes they can stay black and white for sure. Most of the time. I add color. So I'll talk on my story a little more. The other day I was talking about the beach and how that went. So my Instagram was private. My Instagram's been private for about 5 years now. I have 0 following and I'm following 0 people. There are people that I look at on the daily, but I'm not following anybody because I already scroll enough as is. So if I see too much, then I can't think for myself. So when I would share some art, the collector would be like, "Oh, you got Instagram? Yo, what's your Instagram?" "Oh, it's private." "Oh, so I can't follow you?" "No, you can't. Unfortunately, you cannot." "Oh." And then they almost want to give me the art back, right? Like as if Instagram matters more than the art. I'm like, yo, we met, you have the art, we have the moment, and we'll see this again in the future, right? Because I wasn't doing it for the clout. I knew what it was about. So I tell him, we'll see this again. Okay, thank you, boom, right? So here we are, years down the line, I'm still doing it. It's still doing me. So anybody who has collected the art and you still have it, we're going places. But I knew if I was to share it then, and I let people pay whatever they could afford at the time, whatever they deem fit, right, to see where their mind is, how they value things, I knew there would be a time where the average person would not be able to. Because that's how things go in the market. It's not my doing, that's just how things go. So I tried to share it the best way that I knew how at the time being, where it wasn't about monetary value so much. And now, of course, the times have changed. You can holler at Biden or whoever for that, whatever, but do this as before too, but now this is my respirator. Yeah, this is my respirator right here. So this is so I don't go berserk. And just Hulk smash it off. This is my ray gun right here. And when I was at the beach, I had a lot to say. I felt like I had a point to prove. I was changing my life, and I was doing things differently. Not so much by the books. And I realized that's okay. You don't always have to follow the crowd. Because I wanted to situate myself. I wanted to put myself in a position where I didn't have to ask anyone for anything, and I didn't have to take anything from anybody. Because I've already been through that in my life. I'm tired of being hurt, and I'm tired of hurting people, so I needed to change that. And how do you change that? It starts with myself. So I changed myself. And I did it in a way, I did it through my thoughts, through my actions, my disciplinary ways, and then through art, through expression, and through connection with other people. So I went from sharing my art daily with people from all over the world, mostly through the boardwalk, foreigners and stuff. And then when I left the boardwalk, it got quiet. And no, there weren't eyes on my work. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool, because little did I know that was gonna make me grow. I had a lady tell me one time, this lady on the boardwalk, she told me, I mean, she might have cried too. There were just so many times where I was crying and someone else would come up and cry, or they were crying and then I cried because they were crying. Because it do that. Art can do that. Emotions can do that. Okay. See it. If it's raw, it's raw. So, the lady said she went to art school. She got her degree. What is it? Master's, bachelor's, all of that? I don't know. She got the degrees, right? She said she envies me. I said, why? She said, because after she graduated, when she got home and it was time to paint, she couldn't do it. And her saying that to me, it wasn't foreign, because I grew up in Georgia, so I dealt with all that stuff in my head with different colored skin and how it affects different people and all that stuff. So I always, that being said, I understood why she would say to me she envies me, is because in my mind I'm like, wait, you got it all, but no, looks can be deceiving. And so I understood what she meant because I used to cut hair in the barbershop. But the way I learned, my homie went to the Army. I had a homie who used to kick back, trees, just chill. That was the homie. He went to the military. He came back from basic. He's like, man, I got some money, bro. What you trying to do, man? You need something? Really? I'm like, well, I want to cut hair, bro. I'll go to the hair store and get this haircut kit. So that's what we did. He looked out. I went to the store. I got a suitcase, a little kit that was there, the clippers, boom, boom, boom. My intuition did this. And I was like, I'm gonna cut hair. So then I went to the basketball court in the little playground, and I used to ask the kids, bro, let me cut your hair, man. And they like, I gotta ask my mama, blah, blah, blah. So I kept pressing them. They asked their moms, their dads, whatever, they cool with it. So I started cutting the little homie's hair. And then I started cutting my homie's hair. And sometime after that, the same barbershop that I used to get my hair cut, I asked the owner, the master barber, can I cut at the shop? And you know how it is in the South. And he was so cool, man. He said yes. So as a rookie, they brought me in on apprenticeship with no paperwork. And shout out to Big D, because I used to mess up some of the haircuts and D would literally get the clippers and fix the fade for me. Because the big homie was telling me, use your mirror. He said the mirror will never lie to you. Men, women, my peers, my peoples, it's the truth, all right? We can play around all we want, but the mirror will not lie to us. So I didn't use the mirror enough. Gotta listen, gotta pay attention. Thought I knew everything, but I did okay. And sometime after that, I needed to be out doing more, and that's when the camera came into my hand, and I left the barbershop, and I was out exploring and all that. But I remember one time, he said, you already passed the first test. I said, what is that? He said, you wasn't scared. And in my head, I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't even really think about, like, am I gonna mess with somebody's haircut or whatever? I didn't cut a grown man's beard or a grown man's hair or beard until I got into the barbershop. So, I was just winging it. But it be like that. It be like that when we don't overthink. When you don't think of all the possibilities of what could happen this, what could happen that. That's what traveling is teaching me. To be more in the moment and to apply what I have instead of always searching for more. Like I need to reach in my backpack. This is the backpack right here. This is the backpack you always want to have with you. And the items inside, very valuable. I had this lady, Susan. She lived in New York. She used to come to California maybe twice a year, and she would buy art. And she had a FedEx account, so I just take it to FedEx, and they do with it after that. Boom, ship it, box it up, all that. But she told me, she left me with like 3 things she said to me. And she said, just life, to just have in your pocket for life. She said, in the heat of the moment, she said, don't panic, remember what you know, and keep a sense of humor. So when it got to the cutting the hair, it's like, now I understand how things can be the way they are when I look at YouTube and see the Philippines or Nepal or something, because when you hungry or when you need, it's like, oh, okay. It's different. When depending on your environment, the cellular activity in your an ecosystem, the cellular activity or the activity in your body on a cellular level, come on now, you know it's different. It's different. You'll see people do some things and you be like, yo, how is that? It's like, yeah, it's like that. It's like that. That's why I say we don't know until, you know. So back then, I wanted to change my life. And even till now, I get frustrated because sometimes there's things that I want to do or stop doing, and all it takes is the thought and then the effort behind it. It's like, why won't I just do that thing? Or why won't I just stop that thing? It's like, but I'm just trying to not be too hard on myself. But yeah, I can just jump right into something and get rocking with it. And so that's what happened with cutting hair, and that's also what happened with making art. Sometimes you can just have at it and see what you make of it, because when we scroll, we can get lost in the sauce for real, like for real, because you're gonna see so much of other stuff and happenings, to where you know you could probably feel like you're inadequate. When that means surely that's not the case, right? Because how did we even get to Earth? The fact that we even got here and stuff, you know, is like, so we're supposed to be grateful for life every day. I seen this movie this year, and it had, I don't remember actors' names, but it had the guy in it from the movie The Law Abiding Citizen. I really like that movie. And the main character, who was like doing all the setting up all the booby traps and stuff. But in this movie, he was a plane pilot, airplane pilot. And long story short, the plane had crashed. It was going down, and they landed in like foreign territory, right? And they happened to, like, you know, it was guns going off, grenades and all that, but they made it back to basically like a safe camp and stuff. So when they were rescued, the news crew was all in their face like, how'd you do this, blah, 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 blah. How'd you land the plane? And he said a minute at a time, right? And that stuck with me because I always say a day at a time, right? And so when he said a minute at a time, I'm like, dang, he broke it down even, you know what I'm saying? He made it even more impactful. It's like, oh, damn, a minute at a time, like, oh, yeah, for real, what's the rush, right? Like, damn. It went from a day at a time to a minute at a time. And what would somebody else do? They'll break that down, you know? But one time I had this keychain. I had an emblem on my keychain, and it said on one side, Carpe Diem, and on the other side it said good, and then in capital letters it said good to, and then great. It said good to great. I had that thing for years, and one day I got to the studio and the keychain emblem was gone. But somehow I just kind of shrugged it off because I already went from good to great. So I was okay. I didn't necessarily need it anymore. It's for somebody else. But yeah, when you just tap in, then you in. You don't, that's it. You in there. Now you could come out just as easy as you tapped in. You can tap out. But when you tap in, you tap in. This year, I've been trying to latch on to the comprehension that sometimes I'm trying to latch on to the comprehension of the thought that if America is only less than 300 years old and nothing's new under the sun, then Elon Musk is pretty much doing everything we need to do with technology for life to be at our fingertips. What is there that I need to What is there that I need? Because I was born, blah, 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 blah. So I lived in Alaska, Germany, you know, north, south, east, west. And so, listen, no matter the road, I'm always straight. At this point, I'm just trying to keep it all together. Maybe I shouldn't even say trying. Maybe I'm keeping it all together. That's what I'm doing. I'm just keeping it all together. before I do that, I'll show you. All right, I'll show you. Hold your horses. Excuse me. Looks like Donnie Darko. Give or take. Give or take. Okay, I just want to make sure y'all can see it. I'm not the best at this, all right? The camera's angles and all that shit. Just want to make sure y'all can see it. You feel me? So we do it together. So it's not just me seeing it. All right. It's beautiful. I love it. Oh, damn. Okay. Still no stains. Because it got to a point where all the clothes I had paint all over them. And some days I didn't want to be covered in paint, so I try not to always wear the clothes into the studio. Yeah, so I'm gonna spray this one, put it to the side, eat some watermelon, and get ready for another one. Why not? Alright. Yeah, is there anything else I need to say? Not right now. Not right now. Not right now, so we'll tap in later, y'all. Appreciate it.